I have Amy Thompson with me today, Development Director of the Art Museum of Eastern Idaho. Amy, how are you today?
Great. Thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate you joining us. So, Amy, real quick, as we get into this, tell us first more about, I guess, your position with the Museum of Eastern Idaho, and then more about your time with the museum.
Sure. So my title is Development Director. Because we are a small museum, we have a small staff, we often wear multiple hats. So we're all kind of helping each other out. And I end up doing a lot of my background is actually in marketing. So I do a lot of that side of things as well as fundraising and outreach. But essentially, in a nutshell, it's really about raising awareness about the museum and helping the community know that we exist, that we have various programming available. It's about increasing membership and visibility in the community. So all the things that touch on those areas are under my umbrella.
Okay, that's great. And because, yeah, of course, I mean, for a museum, you want to get the word out as much as possible because, I assume you guys rely mostly on visitors, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. We're funded a lot by visitors and membership, but also by private donations from the community, community members, corporations, a little bit on grants. It's good for us that we don't rely a ton on grants and government funding at the moment. Mm-hmm. So we're still afloat and doing well. We have quite a supportive community, which is really great.
That's great. That's awesome to hear. So at the museum, you guys just opened, it's a brand new exhibit, right?
Yep, it's only been open a week or two, I think.
Okay, awesome. And okay, so it's called Art and the Animal, if I'm not mistaken. If you could just tell us more about it for those of us, especially that don't know about it yet.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a super fun exhibit, and the feedback has been so positive from the people that have come through already. And what it is the annual exhibit of the Society for Animal Artists. So the society is something that you have to be invited into, and it's really, based on talent, right? So the best of the best, if you're this amazing artist, you might get invited into the society. And then from there, they do this annual exhibit that is juried. So meaning just because you made it into the society, you may not necessarily make it into the annual exhibit. So they really take the best of the best of the best. And that's what we've got on display right now. So it's really a lot of fun because it's many different mediums. We've got watercolor and bronze sculpture and cut paper and just all, printmaking, really everything you can think of. But the common theme is that the subjects are all animals, which is fun because it makes it really accessible, I think, for the community and for families. We've tried to incorporate some things that are especially appealing to families. We've got an audio tour that is narrated by two local kids. They're like in theater and stuff, so they did an amazing job at it. It's really fun. And then we got some specimens on loan from Idaho Fish and Game and the Idaho Natural History Museum, so that when people come in and they're looking at these amazing artworks, then they can also go and see like a bear pelt or, elk antlers or something like that, and kind of tie those things together and have that tactile experience as well. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and everyone that I hear pass through is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how amazing this art is. So that's really fun to have that right here in our community.
Oh yeah, that is awesome. And from that whole exhibit, because there's a lot to offer, as you mentioned, what has been, I guess, maybe the community or the fan favorite so far?
Oh, that's a good question. Some of the fan favorites. Well, I mean, they did do an awards ceremony. So several of the pieces, there's a grand prize winner that's this amazing great ape portrait. That was really a fun one. And a lot of people are drawn to that, I think. I think people are really intrigued by the sculpture. It's really fun to have some bronze sculpture, and they're in so many different styles. And then there are also some interesting things. I think what is fun for people is you walk in, and from a distance, it looks like we have maybe a few photographs in the mix. but there's actually no photography in the entire exhibit, but
Wow.
some of it is so photorealistic. And it's interesting that the artists have been able to achieve that with colored pencil, watercolor, and so then people get up close and they kind of have this mind blown experience when they realize that it's actually not a photograph. That's really fun.
Wow. That is really cool, actually, just to go up there and be like, wait, this isn't a picture? Like, this was actually like drawn by someone?
Yeah.
So, tell us more too, because obviously that's the big attraction right now. Well, I guess because you also mentioned how incredible it is that we have that available here in this area of Eastern Idaho. How did that come about getting to Idaho Falls? And like, how were you guys able to get access to that, I guess was what I'm asking.
That's actually a good question. And I think that arrangement was made before I started working at the museum. We usually plan our exhibits out several years in advance, and I've been here less than a year.
I see.
But I do know that the Society of Animal Artists tries to have its annual exhibit in different locations each year so that it can be more accessible to its members, because they actually have an international membership. We've had pieces shipped from as far away as Australia. And so I can't say exactly what the criteria is, but I know, we had the right amount of space. All of our galleries are full. We often have a main exhibit, and then we use our classroom and our corridor gallery for smaller exhibits. But for this one, we're filling the entire museum with the exhibit. But yeah, I guess we just got lucky.
Hey, I mean, that works. So for people that maybe, are living in the area or are nearby or just haven't come before, what, I guess, are some of the highlights too of everything else that the museum offers?
I think that one thing that's good to know is that we're a community museum. And so that means a big part of our mission is accessibility and education. So we do a lot of classes and outreach because there's not a lot of arts in the schools right now. We actually send teaching artists out to the schools, especially rural schools. And it's often the only art teaching that they get. And often it's combined with a field trip to the art museum. But just for individuals, we have Play Studio, which is really fun. You get to get in there, get your hands in the clay, use the wheel, create an actual piece. It's fired in our kiln. You can come back and glaze it. I mean, that's a really unique experience to have here. And we have some great teachers. We also have basic watercolor drawing. We have kids classes. We have camps often. Lectures. So there's a lot of education to what we're doing.
Yeah. What I'm hearing is, obviously, I think a lot of people, when they think of museums, they think of displays and, paintings and all these kind of things. But it sounds like you guys do a lot of interactive, activities to get the community involved too, instead of just displaying things.
Absolutely. Yeah. We really want people to engage with the art, with art making, to make it not something that is this kind of prestigious thing that only certain people can do. We really try to make it available to everyone.
Yeah. So this, going back to the new exhibit, it opened this month, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And I guess for people that are still wondering, what are the dates for viewing the exhibit? Like, how long will it be around?
Ooh, good question. That's like a pop quiz. I'm not actually sure what date it closes, but let me think about this. It may be in January that we get the next one, but I'm not sure. But I do know that you can look on our website, and the next exhibit that we have coming up is the Eagle Rock Art Guild, and that's a local association of artists. And so that's really a fun thing to be able to support them and see what our local community is producing. But we do have the upcoming exhibits on our website. That's
great. And I guess with these upcoming exhibits, how do you guys go into planning all of them? Because it seems like, if you have another one coming up right after this, then do you guys just have like a plan of, we're going to have this exhibit come this time, and do you guys have a different exhibit come in every so often, or what's the process like there?
Yes, exactly. So we have our exhibit schedule planned out quite a few years in advance. And so we know what's coming next, and we typically shut down the museum for a week or so to take one down. We have to, for this one, for example, everything has to go back in crates, get shipped out again. So it's quite a big ordeal to do that. And then we install the next exhibit. We're also in the middle of a capital campaign raising funds to build a new education wing. And once we have that, I think that it's more likely that we'll be able to stay open in between exhibits. We just shut down one particular gallery, but since we're a small museum, there's a bit of behind the scenes work that has to happen.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. One last question for you, Amy. Just for everyone listening, just give us one last quick rundown of, when the exhibit is happening for people. I guess kind of like the hours of the museum, when they can attend that, where the museum's at, and then the cost to attend.
Yeah, you bet. So the museum is open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 5. I think it closes at 4 on Saturday. But gosh, you keep asking me these tough questions.
I'm sorry.
I can't quite remember how much admission is, but I know it's only a few bucks. I mean, I don't have to pay when I go into work, so I typically don't look at it. But
True.
I know, actually, this will be applicable for your audience. Actually, we have a $2 student admission, so that works great for your listeners.
Yeah.
And actually, I should mention that it's not this Saturday, it's November 1st. We have a community day. So we do these regularly, and we open up the museum for free to the whole community. And we typically have an art project for younger kids, but it's a great chance to come in and catch the exhibit for free. And it's also actually November 1st is the day that we're launching a new initiative called Foster the Arts. We've decided to make membership available to any family that offers foster care in the community. So we're super excited about that, just removing that barrier so it's accessible, kind of a way to say thank you to these families that do this amazing thing. So we have a lot of fun things happening on November 1st, but that would be a great day to come and check out the exhibit.
Yeah, especially since it's free. That's incredible.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, awesome. Well, thanks so much. Anything else you would add, Amy?
I think that's it. We just hopefully see some of your BYU-I students down there. We love having them down.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, sweet. Thanks so much for being on the call with us today, Amy. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks so much, Jack.